Man, really excited to get the victory. It's never easy in the NFL on Sunday ball. Got to give Philadelphia a lot of credit, man. They tested us. Their ability to convert third downs offensively, I thought, was a significant component of the game. Some of it was self-inflicted by us and penalties and missed tackles and so forth, but you got to give them guys credit. They had a good plan, they had good execution of the plan, and that allowed them to maintain possession of the ball and keep us at bay and stay in it. But I like our guys. Collectively they fought well together. They complemented one another in all three phases of the game. Wasn't a perfect performance by any stretch, but we're not looking for perfect. We're looking to be good enough to win, and had a lot of good contributions from a lot of people. Young guys getting an opportunity to contribute. Claypool obviously was a guy that had a big game, but more subtle contributions like Kevin Dotson being called upon to step up for David Castro. We appreciate the development of those guys. We got to continue to grow and develop as a team, not only in terms of skills relative to our positions, but our division of labor, our understanding of the situation of the ball. All the while, we better do enough to win in the process. And thankful that we've been able to do that.
And welcome everybody to the Pittsburgh Steelers Mass Steel podcast post-game show, of course, with me, Charles Prodigy, Richey right there. You just heard Mike Tomlin right there, just wrapped up right there. Definitely not the brightest or prettiest days at the office for the defense, but they did do enough in this game to earn a victory in this contest right now. Definitely felt like it got like a little sloppy right now. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers, for the most part, and today's game, when we truly look at it, when we dissect it and break it down, bottom line is they gave up a career high of total yards on defense for today's contest. As we look at it, and we're just able to survive this game miraculously. And the total yards on defense that was surrendered today was 336 yards. The second longest was by the Denver Broncos back in week number 2 in the home opener. Like I said, aside from that, too, I mean, the Steelers, their pass rush does come through once again as usual. I did mention earlier today, don't forget, remember controlling the line of scrimmage right there and controlling the clock. Well, guess what? The Pittsburgh Steelers have 5 sacks on defense with Stephon Tuitt leading the charge with 1.5. While the Philadelphia Eagles pass rush today's contest had only 1 sack right though, so very good job right there at that end that they're able to minimize that. They were the top pass rush team coming into today's game right there, and like I said, if we take a look at the time of possession, who controlled it today in this game, it was the Steelers that controlled it by at least over 9.5 minutes nearly. And I thought that was very key right there because, like I said, I really felt like the running game needed to pick up. It didn't look the prettiest, but they did get a combined 136 yards rushing, most of it coming from Ray McLeod on a nice sweeping jet running play right there. He actually gets 63 yards rushing in that game plus 12. Just 85 yards on scrimmage right there. I mean, when we look at it. And plus he also had 48 yards on punt return when we look at it for this contest. And I thought that was very good for there. When we really look at it, I mean, that is a big thing right there. And I think Ray McLeod, I mean, if Deontay Johnson continues to slip up. He had the lead earlier in the game, early in the first quarter with 8:11 to go with a back injury right there. So when you really think about it right there, I mean, it was just all in all, definitely a 4-0 victory for the first time since 1979. And right now, hopefully this will turn into a Super Bowl season. I'm not going to buy into it just yet. But, I mean, still a lot more work to be done at the end of the day. Once again, you can follow me on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, at Prodigy Richey. For the Mass Steel podcast on Twitter, it is at Mass Steel CJR. Then on Instagram, at Man Steel Nation, when we really take a look at for this contest here. And like I said, we'll see what continues to happen for right now. But like I said, I really felt like for right now, I mean, the Steelers they take care of business once again here. I mean, in this contest, I mean, for the
Left,
simple
tight end left as well.
fact
Roethlisberger
right
to throw on
here,
third down. In
look
the
at
seam,
it.
he's got Claypool.
Sorry about that. That was from ESPN.com. I'm not trying to play any copyright here, so please excuse me on that. But I mean, when you look at, I mean, the Steelers, I mean, they took care of business once again, as usual. And look, I mean, this is a good time to be excited. I mean, obviously, I mean, you still got a lot more work to be done here. I mean, you don't want to like nonchalantly
Shotgun snap on the draw. Hand it off to Sanders.
when we look at it here. But I mean, this is the bottom line here. I mean, listen, you're undefeated so far in this season right now, and when we really look at, I mean, for the most part, I mean, they are hitting their stride right now. Just defense, I think, just got definitely dinked up right here. I mean, when you really think about it here, and I just really feel like right now, I mean, in this contest here, I mean, when you really truly look at it, I mean, it is definitely a lot of stuff they got to get addressed real quick here. I mean, Mike Tomlin even said they're not looking for perfection. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's enough to be satisfied. To be 4-0 right now, they're going to have to play 13 straight games the rest of the way. And honestly, I'm not really crying over that. I'm not really too worried about that. It just kind of sucked that you had to break up some momentum. But at the end of the day, too, listen, where was the momentum breaking up or not? Steelers found a way to figure out the ball game. I think the biggest mistake in the contest was the field goal kicker by the Philadelphia Eagles going for a 57-yard field goal kick right there, which was like around a little over 3 minutes left to go, I believe it was, 3.5 minutes. Right there, I think Doug Pearson, that was his fatal mistake right there that did him in, because other than that, I mean, I saw the Steelers really give Carson Wentz plenty of room to throw. He got enormously comfortable in this game. I mean, when you truly look at it and when you really dissect it, I mean, this guy right here, I mean, it was just it was a cakewalk for him for most of the contest. Yeah, he did get sacked 5 times, but he managed to hang in there. He had a lot of heart in this game, and like I said, he's still got a lot to prove for right now when we truly break it down. I mean, for this season, I mean, don't forget, I mean, he had one that delivered the Super Bowl goods like Nick Foles did. But like I said, I'm going to still go all-time Eagles quarterback, and I'm maybe talking Eagles here, but it has to be Don McNabb. I don't care if Nick Foles was a guy who took the place of Carson Wentz. We got hurt late down the regular season. He took over from him in the playoffs, did the Philly special. Don McNabb was, at the end of the day, along with Steve McNair, Steve Young, was one of the most durable passing and running threat quarterbacks. You can even throw Joe Montana in there too. Joe Montana, I mean, when you look at his career, I mean, when you think of a guy like at his quarterback level, he didn't always necessarily make the splash plays. I mean, what he was a thinking man's quarterback. He did enough to move the ball at the end of the day, and he just knew how to put his guys in the position to win. And that just by mastering the West Coast offense, he was always a thinking man's quarterback. And when he had to use his legs, he would use his legs. I would make the argument he was just as much of a running threat at times, the way he would fool people. So, like I said, when I look at a guy, like I said, like when we take a look at, I mean, Carson Wentz, to his credit, I mean, in this contest, I mean, when we look at, I mean, for today's game in Heinz Field versus Steelers, let's take a look at the stats real quick. We'll run them down right now here on the Mass Steel podcast. So here's what it is. I mean, he had 19 more yards passing than Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger threw for 239 yards, and Carson Wentz 258 yards. The difference in the game was the turnovers. Steelers won the turnover battle, +1 today with a pair of interceptions by Steve Nelson. Then, of course, Eric Ebron had a catch and fumble that was recovered by the Eagles right there. Nearly had a second one late in the game. But, yeah, I mean, I thought that was a very huge play right there. If Eric Ebron, I mean, if he finds a way to secure that ball, Eagles are set up nicely with field position, if you ask me, the rest of the way. Bottom line here. And that's what we've really got to piece together over here. And we'll find out how that goes. But for right now, I mean, listen, like Mike Tomlin always said back earlier in his career, it's not always going to be pretty, but we're going to come out fighting in the end. And that's what you have to remember. I mean, with this team, when we take a look at it. If you guys want, again, feel free to comment and on the live stream and join in. Stream live from my Facebook and Instagram page, Men of Steel Podcast. If you guys like and follow it, you can just simply just type in at Men of Steel Nation on Facebook and Instagram as we get ready to take a look at it right now. Definitely I want to say one thing real quick before we go a little bit further. I was doing with my co-host that I usually do my show on Saturdays on deck on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com, which you can also check out on Anchor.com. Crunch Time presents Men of Steel Podcast and on deck. It has both my shows right there for Steeler coverage and then shows to do for Chicago National Training Sports. As far as the NFL went, here's where I'm getting at. I actually picked the upset of the week to be the Las Vegas Raiders over the Kansas City Chiefs, which they did happen to defeat today. And right now, Chiefs go 3-2, while the Raiders
tight
go
end left
3-2.
as well. Roethlisberger to throw on
Raiders
third down.
dropped
In the seam, he's got
to,
Claypool.
While the Chiefs dropped to 4-1. So Raiders go 4-2 for the season. Pretty impressive right there, to say the least. I mean, at this point in time. And really incredible, I mean, what they're doing right now. When you got like Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs right there. As we take a look at the current standings throughout the league so far, as it is, beginning with the AFC.
Shotgun
right
snap
now.
on the draw. Handed off to Sanders.
Steelers,
Jukes a man.
right
He's
now,
got a
at
first
this
down and
point
more.
in time,
45-50.
was
Into
2-0
Steeler territory.
against the
35-30.
Bills right
Cuts
now.
off another defender. 20,
Should the Buffalo
15,
Bills
10.
Steelers
Touchdown.
be
Philadelphia.
Number one.
What a run by
in the
Miles Sanders.
if I'm not
15
mistaken.
minutes away from where he grew
We'll see
up.
about that.
74-yard touchdown
I'm not sure how much the
for
Titans will be able
Philadelphia.
to jump up on them with a tiebreaker. But, I mean, that's how good the Steelers team is right now after the first quarter of the season when we take a look at. I mean, they're doing their job here at the end of the day. I mean, when you look at, no doubt. And when we continue to dissect it and break it down, you go 4-0. That's something we haven't seen in over 4 decades here. I mean, 41 years to be exact. And just kick it off in a nice way. Feel free to leave me your comments. I want to hear what was like your moments that stood out. What were some costly mistakes that nearly hurt the Steelers and nearly cost them this game? I'd like to hear from you because I'm not going to lie. 17 points, you have to put a team like the Eagles away. I mean, I felt like Steelers, they definitely were just able to just settle down right there. I mean, at the end of the day, and I mean, I was talking earlier to a friend of mine too. I was saying to myself, the only way the Steelers will lose this game is if they beat themselves. And basically on this, because at the end of the day, I mean, the good thing for the Steelers too, which really helped them out for this contest, they were able to take care of the turnover ratio. Only had 1 turnover on the offense and 2 takeaways on defense here. I mean, the Eagles had slightly better third down efficiency, 10-14. Steelers were 11-15. Not bad right there in that respect. So I mean, that was pretty good right there. Steelers had 13 passing first downs and 7 rushing first downs. They had more rushing first downs than the Eagles today. And I think that was just very good right there. But I just feel like the offensive line, also too, we had David DeCastro, who which was known by the game, had an abdominal injury. His return was questionable. Kevin Dotson had to come in for his place against Fletcher Cox. And I'm not going to lie to you. I think Kevin Dotson right now, maybe the slow future of this team right now, done pretty good. Also, before we move a little bit further, happy birthday shout out to TJ Watt right here. He turns 26 as his birthday is officially today. Gets his birthday wish, no doubt about it. Getting the victory here, getting this team the 4-0, making his contributions felt. And definitely be interested to see the injury report throughout the week. Everyone is going to continue to pair throughout as we get ready to see the Steelers move into a big game matchup against the Cleveland Browns. right now playing a close game, as a matter of fact, against the Indianapolis Colts right now in Cleveland. When we take a look at that contest, and I'll try and give you a little live scoreboard update as we continue to move along here and see what happens for the time being. Right now, you got the Browns on top of the Colts by 9 points. In this contest, you have Kareem Hunt having not a bad game today. He has 15 carries for 50 yards, while Baker Mayfield has thrown for 247 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Phillip Rivers only passed for 133 yards. So, I mean, the biggest difference in that contest right there, when we look at it for the time being, I mean, in that game, in case everyone's wondering, because remember, the Browns right now, they are 3-1 and not too far off from the Ravens or the Steelers. I mean, obviously, they would be behind the Ravens since they lost them head-to-head. So right now, I mean, Steelers are 4-0, while the Ravens are at this point in time 4-1. So the Steelers have the edge for just not losing the game. And let's take a look at the biggest difference in that game. I have to say first down conversions, 8 for 13 on third downs being converted. And the Colts are 3 for 8. So that needs to be up there a little bit as we look at it. And let's get ready to get a little bit more into it right now with the Steelers. Speaking of which, for the time being, too, the inactives for today's game, let's not forget. The Steelers for today's contest listed 6 guys with 1 starter who they already knew was going to be out, which was fullback Derek Watt. I believe he had a hamstring injury going into this contest right now as we look at it for the week number 5 matchup. Yeah, so Derek Watt, he was out due to a hamstring injury. The other guys who were not active for today's game were quarterback Josh Dobbs, backup inside linebacker Marcus Allen, defensive tackle Carlos Davis, offensive tackle Derwin Gray, and tight end Zach Gentry. Now, Missy Matthews, the Steelers sideline reporter, did mention that Marcus Allen, who was ruled out for today's game, was doing some work on the field with the Steelers training staff. So hopefully he'll be available pretty soon right there. And like I said, just get a little bit more into this Steelers-Eagles matchup right there. Mika Fitzpatrick didn't have too bad of a game. He had like 5 total tackles right there, 3 solo, 2 assisted. I mean, definitely needs to do a little bit better, I mean, throughout the season. I mean, a lot. I mean, they're not really throwing to him. But then again, how much does he need to be consider like transitioning over the strong safety, then bounce back to free safety? I mean, if you're going to be having teams throw away from the guy, my thought process is we know how much your bread and butter is at like creating interceptions, but at the same time, if teams are throwing away from you, I think at some point you do have to consider right now when we look at it is to make an adjustment. If you got to make an adjustment being a stronger tackle, a stronger safety, I think you need to consider that. I think you got to consider what's doing best for your team. I mean, I understand this is his specialty, but at the end of the day, if it's going to take the defense to like a whole next level, and just so you can like at least kibosh the thing where they're not throwing away from you, show yourself that you're multi-versatile. I say, and that's the biggest thing you have to look at. That's with anything in life when we look at. Again, Steelers win today. They go 4-0 for the first time since 1979. And then also, too, let's not forget, the last time they started off a real good, strong season out of the gate was back in 1978, where they started off 7-0. And they had their first loss of the season to the Houston Oilers. Which later on, as everyone may recall, later on the season, Diane Shaw made the famous
Here's another cleaning tip from Mr. Clean. Cleaning tough bathroom and kitchen messes with sprays and wipes can be a struggle. There's an easier way.
That's
Try
one thing
Mr.
that's
Clean
right
Magic
there.
Eraser. Just
7-0
wet,
the last
squeeze,
time that was done.
and erase
was
tough
at
messes
night.
like
Yeah,
bathtub
of course,
soap scum.
Steelers are 4-0
And
right
caked
now.
on grease from
You
oven
got the
doors.
Browns coming up.
Now Mr. Clean Magic
October
Eraser comes in
18th,
disposable
followed by
sheets.
the Titans.
They're perfect for
Should
icky messes
everything
on
go well
stovetops,
as they get ready
in microwaves,
face their game
and all over the
keep their
house.
schedule on
For
track.
amazing clean,
And
try
then
Mr.
later
Clean
on,
Magic
you'll be
Eraser
having
and Mr.
Ravens
Clean Magic Eraser
first,
sheets.
Then October
Left,
25th,
tight end left as
Dallas
well. Roethlisberger to
Cowboys
throw on third
on
down.
November
In the seam,
8th.
he's
And
got
then
Claypool.
following the
Eludes a
Cowboys
man,
game, you'll be
15,
home
10,
against the Bengals
5 toward the right
on
pylon.
the road
Touchdown,
against
Steelers.
the
32
Jaguars
yards.
on the 22nd of
Put
November.
that in your third down
Thanksgiving game
playbook
hosted
and
at
keep
home
it.
on the 26th against the
Second
Ravens in
touchdown of the
Heinz
day
Field.
for Claypool.
And then you're going to have
1
10
receiving,
days later
1
on December
rushing.
6th,
It's
home against the Washington football
13-7
team.
Pittsburgh.
They're going to be
what
on
a
the road
tremendous-
against the Buffalo
a
Bills.
tremendous-
Rematch of last year's Sunday night game. This time it will be in Buffalo, followed by a Monday night game on December 21st against the Bengals. Should they get flexed, we'll
Shotgun
see.
snap on
And
the
then,
draw. Hand it off to Sanders.
gonna
Jukes
be
a man.
at
He's got a
home
first down and
against
more.
the Colts.
45-50.
And
Into
then,
Steeler
last but not
territory.
least,
35-30.
going up against
Cuts
Browns
off another
and the
defender.
season,
20, 15,
right there. So that's the
10.
remaining
Touchdown,
schedule,
Philadelphia.
right there. The rest of the way is
What a run
take
by
look at
Miles
it.
Sanders.
But for right now,
15 minutes away from where he
Steelers,
grew up.
I mean, they're
74-yard touchdown
this
for
month
Philadelphia.
Right now, you're going to have a split between. You're going to have one more home game, and then you're going to have one game on the road, which will be against the Tennessee Titans here. Again, if you guys ever wish to call in on the Mass Steel podcast, you could do so. You can reach me at the following show number, which is 312-209-2232. Again, that's 312-209-2232. You can follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook for the at Prodigy Richey and for the Mass Steel podcast on Twitter at Mass Steel CGR at Mass Steel Nation on Instagram as we take a look at it. And right now, when we also look at too, got another headline coming in here too. Coach Mike Thomas says he knew the Steelers win over the Eagles wasn't perfect, but it was a win, and no doubt about that. Congratulations to Mike Tomlin, by the way, for right now. But like I said, the biggest thing too, the Steelers do even up to 500 at home in Pittsburgh when facing the Philadelphia Eagles all time. The Eagles are still without a win in Pittsburgh since 2000. That's how long it's been for them as we look at it right there. But the Steelers, like I said, they are going to have a decent schedule coming up right now. I mean, when we truly look at it, I mean, for the time being, I mean, when we really break this down and truly take a look at it, I mean, definitely going to be an interesting way. They're going to be at least having the rest of the way 3 playoff teams the rest of the way, which would be the Titans, the Ravens, and the Bills right there. So 3 more playoff teams, which is not bad, but definitely going to be a grind, no doubt about it, when we take a look at it. And I just feel like the Steelers right now, I mean, you look at how everyone still continues to question whether or not the fact, did they or did they not have, so people like want to say, well, they didn't really have much of a preseason. It was hard to get them rhythm. That is true, but sometimes at the end of the day, too, you don't always win pretty. Sometimes you may have to win those ugly games, and just the way it comes out. And this did benefit the Steelers, no doubt about it. I really think so. And at the end of the day, you look back all the virtual training this team had to endure throughout the year, everything with COVID-19. I mean, I really feel like this has been Mike Tomlin's best coaching to date, and it's really starting to show. Yeah, there's going to be some miscues along the way, but at the end of the day, we'll find out. I do want to make a special note real quick and make a special shout out right now. Keep this guy in your prayers right now. We found out 2 days ago. It was also written by the Associated Press on ESPN. Longtime Pittsburgh Steelers offensive lineman and current radio analyst and host of Inside the Locker Room with Tunch and Wolf. Talking about none other than 63-year-old Tunch Ilkin right now, who played 13 of his 14 seasons in Pittsburgh. Right now, he has ALS right now, which is a progressive nerve system disease that affects nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord, according to the Mayo Clinic. He says this is definitely comparable to Lou Gehrig's disease right now. I'm not sure if he called the game today or what was going on, but everybody please keep Tunchoka and his family, his loved ones and friends, including the Steelers family, in your prayers. I hope he continues to find a way to fight this and survive. Definitely some sad news right there to hear, and I hope he's able to like have a long lasting life, no doubt about it. Definitely a true one of a kind, and definitely helps. I mean, makes us Steelers post games feel very comforting, win or lose at the end of the day. Still loving his chemistry with Craig Wolfley. And I hope he finds a way to get the proper medication, healing strength to keep this man around, please. Last thing I want to hear is another person fading. But at the end of the day, too, really feel for this guy. One of the most nicest, sincerest, genuine men in Steelers history at the end of the day. And I hope he's able to beat this out. And if anything, at the end of the day, that's not good when you start getting disease in your brain right there. And that's pretty much right there, gloom and doom right there. I hope that's not the case with him. I hope he beats this out. So please pass the word out. I'm sure a lot of Steelers fans have heard this going into this game. Like I said, Tunchoka, definitely thinking about you. I got a chance to interview and on my show a few years ago, and definitely just want the best for you, my man. Like I said, I love you, guy, and just want you to be in a good and happy spot for right now as we take a look at everything right now for this day. And let's see what continues to go on right here throughout the rest of the week as we look at it. Again, if you guys want, feel free to join in on the conversation. Like I said, just catch me on the Facebook and Instagram page, Men of Steel Podcast. And of course, you could also just check me out on my Twitter at Men of Steel CGR for the Men of Steel Podcast and at Men of Steel Nation on Instagram. So right now, as I mentioned before, let's go ahead and give our game balls for today's contest as we look at my biggest game ball going in today's game right here for this game. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Chase Claypool right now. Chase Claypool had 153 reception yards, 4 touchdowns for this contest. It was also noted, too, that Chase Claypool became the first rookie with 100-plus receiving yards and 4 scrimmage touchdowns in the game since Reggie Bush in 2006. Right here, at least 1950 with 3 reception touchdowns and a rushing touchdown right there. So 3 receiving touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. This guy pretty much did it all today. Definitely came upon when needed. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, this guy was definitely been here to deliver when we look at it as the guy who continues to really look at right now. And we take a look at it. And that's the thing right there as we try to figure stuff out here. And, yeah, let's find out a little bit more about that. Then on defense for today's contest, I'm going to go ahead and give the defensive game ball on the other side of the equation. I'm going to go ahead and give that to Mike Hilton. Had a hat trick today, led the team with 8 tackles, a sack, and a tackle for loss. That was huge right there. I know Steve Nelson got the pair of the turnovers, but I'll still get to Mike Hilton just with the all-around effort. Steelers did win the turtle battle with +1, 2 interceptions by Steve Nelson, and throwing the ball 1 time on offense, which was by Eric Ebron, the lost fumble recovery after the catch. Big Ben went 27 of 34 for 79% completion percentage, along with 237 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He now has 10 touchdowns, 1 interception for the year. Let that sink in. 10 touchdowns, 1 interception right there for a 10.0 touchdown interception ratio. You want to call this guy washed up, say he's near the end of the rope. You know what? I don't care if he's lost the strength to throw a deep ball as hard, but if he's going to be managing the game passion this way, I'll take that for right now. And we'll see what happens. And then also, too, the Steelers gave up a season-high 336 yards today. That definitely was a big-time problem right now when we look at it. So I definitely feel like those things stood out. But, I mean, again, the Steelers do find a way to improve to 4-0, still unbeaten right now as we look at it here for this season. And there's still a few other unbeaten teams right now in the league. When we take a look at it, we have 4 other teams that are unbeaten right now with the Seattle Seahawks, Green Bay Packers, both at 4-0. Then you also got the Titans, who are 3-0. Then last but not least, the Buffalo Bills. And that's going to do it for this post-game edition here of the Mass Joe podcast. Hope you enjoyed it, and definitely look forward to keeping you throughout the week. Remember, I'm moving to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time to be doing my live stream podcast, so make sure to tune in. No longer 6:30, just for temporarily. I may move back to 6:30 later on, but if I have guests, any guests I book, I'm willing to have you on 6:30 as opposed to 8 o'clock, but just keep that in mind. Everybody, once again, hope everyone continues to be safe, love, and support one another for everything, and make sure to go vote. This is Charles Prodigy Richey here at the Mass Joe podcast signing off. Don't be trolling, be rolling. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. I go.